Hello and welcome to the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. Now this is the, I believe it's not quite a closed beta, it's like you have to request access off the Steam store page. It took a day for mine to go through. I applied yesterday but it came through today. So you probably want to get in quick if you want to actually get in before the beta ends at the end of this weekend. So the concept is fairly simple. I'd show you a tutorial, but the tutorials are literally, it's a video. It's not very good, so I'll just run through an explanation as to what's going to happen here. So essentially, if you've seen the film, it's gonna, I believe, play out quite like the film. I personally, I think I've watched like a remake of it. I might have. I'm sure I've seen something Texas Chain Saw Massacre-esque. I think I vaguely remember having it on in the background one night while I was playing something. I think it was on the telly, but so I'm not overly familiar myself. But I have played with Leatherface and Dead by Daylight. Not one of my favourite killers. I think I mainly just got him for the perks. But essentially, the way it's going to go in the game, you are one of 4 victims. Because we're not doing Dead by Daylight logic here where we call them survivors. No, there's going to be none of that here. There's going to be none of that. So, we're playing as the victims, or possibly the family, but we'll get into that. Let's say we start out as a victim. You'll start off with one other person next to you, and you'll be literally dangling from the ceiling, half dying, just bleeding to death, right? The way the game goes is we have to get out of the basement, which means finding something to pick the locks. We want to find useful items like health and shivs and things, and we need to use that to then get up into the house, the main house. Then when we're in the house, we need to get our way into the gardens outside the house, into like the just get onto the rest of the property and then find the exits. There are 4 exits in total. There are 4. If you're not familiar with the game, if you've not played it much, as many of us won't have at this point, and you're wondering what the hell to do, there's a front gate, a back gate, a side gate, and then there's the escape tunnel. Right? The front gate you can just, and the back gate as well, you can just walk through. The front gate literally requires you to do nothing, just walk over there, walk out, and leave. The issue is that the family that are defending the house and trying to kill you have an electric fence set up, which, so long as a generator is turned on, provided that they bother to remember doing that at the beginning of the game, sometimes they don't and you can literally walk out, it's really funny, but presuming that they know vaguely what they're doing, again it's a beta, so 50-50 on that, then it will be electrified and you have to go and disable the generator. How do you find it? You have to follow like a wire that's incredibly difficult to see because it's the same colour as the goddamn grass, which completely obfuscates the damn thing. But you have to follow that, find this generator and give it a good kicking, and then it'll turn off and you can run away. If you get caught at any of this point, you are in the open. It's like being caught in Dead by Daylight where you're in an area where all the pallets have been used and you're one hit from death. It's basically the same thing. You're in the open, there's nowhere to go, and you're dead. Your only hope at that point is to try and make your way to... There's sometimes a well that can spawn, and you can jump down it and get horrifically injured, but you'll be alive, however you'll be back down in the basement at square one. Have fun. The other way to escape is the back gate. The back gate requires unlocking first, is as far as I'm aware. I think that's all there is to it. You just have to unlock it and leave. I'm not certain, I've not seen that gate opened yet and I've not used it myself, but I think it requires, I know that to get to that area there's like several gates and things you have to unlock, so you're probably going to require to find, it's probably going to be required you find some tools. The other ways out is the side gate, it's a water pressure gate, so it's literally like there's a big water pressure tank that holds it open. It's like a hydraulic gate or something, I don't know. but you have to find a valve. I think there are several valves in the game that you can find, and you can use it on it to turn it, pressurise this big pump thing, and then you can make your escape. The killers can come and disable that, and the gate will slowly start closing. Right, so when it's pressured it slowly opens, and then it'll start to slowly close once it has opened. The killers can go up and interrupt it, and it'll immediately start closing again. As far as I'm aware, that's I think how it works. Again, I've only had a few games and I've watched a bit while I've been waiting for it to download. So don't take my word as absolute gospel on this, and things are subject to change. It is a beta. Last way to exit, which I did just make an attempt on. I got the fuse box repaired for this, but then I just bled out because it took so goddamn long. Last exit is the basement exit. So the basement, you have to run up to the house, find a fuse, insert it in the fuse box. I think both of these items spawn in the house, so it requires you to run around the house a lot, which is where most of the killers are going to be most of the time. Then you have to run back down to the bottom floor and find the actual gate leading out from the basement and get out that way. And they can turn this off, by the way. I think they can damage the fuse box if they find out you've done this. So, yeah, it's very difficult. The only way you can really work as a team is via the in-game voice chat. Thank Christ it has it. You know, one of these games that's actually bothered to put that, built into the game. I think the only ones that have actually bothered with that, like this and that Friday the 13th game, which didn't go so well. So that said, that's how we escape, right? So what do the killers want to do? The killers, they need to feed blood to their grandpa. This gives them basically a wall hack ability that just goes off every so often. It's like an active UAV now, It's ridiculous, but if you stay still as a survivor, it doesn't catch you. Killers are going to be using this. And I'm just thinking, I might as well be playing the videos in the background while this is happening. We can have that playing in the background, but the killers, basically, they're going to feed their grandpa its blood. He's going to give them wall hack abilities. And then they go and find you. They each have unique abilities and unique traversal rules, which is going to sound a bit weird, but they do. So you've got in the beta test there are 3 killers. I believe there's additional ones planned for launch, but at the moment there's 3. I think there's going to be 5 at launch, because I've just been checking out the website and they're advertising 5 there. They're also advertising an additional victim at least, so there'll be 1 extra victim. So what do the killers do? Right, you've got the cook, who can use his hearing ability to hear through walls. He goes into his mode, he scans the area, and if he hears someone, you'll see it if we play as him, but a little circles there and it starts wibbling with like sound waves, and then it marks the person. So he can use that to track you. So the cook is very good at tracking and finding you. He's not bad in combat, but he's probably the weakest. None of them are bad in combat, but he is the weakest. And that's basically his abilities. That's the cook. The hitchhiker can set traps. They get free. Oh, the cook as well gets to put free padlocks on doors that makes them extra difficult to unlock. And the moment he goes through that door again, it removes the padlock forever, making it not as useful as you'd think ability. Hitchhiker can put traps down. They can recover their traps. They can reset their traps. It's definitely a better ability. The interesting thing with the hitchhiker is they can go through the crawl spaces and the squeeze through spaces in the map. So when you squeeze through a wall or crawl through a little hole, the hitchhiker can follow you. Then you've got Bubba, who can literally slice through obstacles. There's lots of little like chests and things and other such obstacles in the game. Bubba can slice through them with the chainsaw. He can destroy crawl spaces and squeeze through spots forever. He can permanently destroy these. His attacks are also devastating, and if he revs the chainsaw as he runs up to you and hits you with a more powerful attack, he can basically one-tap you. Thankfully not everyone's figured out they can rev the chainsaw yet. You think they would, but they haven't. So, that's basically with the kill. Oh, and Bubba, of course, cannot go through any obstacles. Right? He cannot go through crawl spaces, he cannot go through squeeze through spaces, but he can destroy things. So they're all unique, very interesting. Because there's 3 of them, it does answer a few of the problems that other games, such as Dead by Daylight, probably the closest competition for this, it answers a few of the issues that has in an interesting way. It's like, well, how do you get rid of an infinite loop? There's 3 of you, just coordinate. There's 3 of you and 1 cornered survivor. You should be able to get them. So, and like I say, they can, even though only one of them can track, because they can feed Grandpa this blood and level him up. As he goes on, he'll use his ability more and more often as he feeds him more and more blood, which you get from either collecting it around the house from these little buckets with like meat in them and stuff, or you can get it from killing people. So that's the general gist anyway. Without further ado though, we'll get in, because I've been explaining it for a good 10 minutes. And we're going to have a good few games. I'll just get into a quick match here. The abilities, by the way, now each survivor has abilities. I've mentioned Bubba can chainsaw, Cook can hear you through walls, Hitchhiker can set traps, but even the survivors have abilities, but the problem is it doesn't tell you anywhere. So I've actually looked this up online on their website. So Bonnie, the ginger lass, they get focused, which allows her to pick locks much faster at the cost of stamina. And they don't even use the unlock tool. I think they actually do still, but I've used that and it does still use the unlock tool. Sonny here can, what's it, he's got heightened sensors. He can detect noise made by anyone nearby. Julie, who I think isn't in the game yet. Escape like hell sounds like a hell of an ability. Yeah, Spartan type. The Spartan making great use of it. When activated, they cannot be tracked, and they also get significantly reduced stamina drain while sprinting for a short time. Leyland can literally shoulder bash a family member, stunning them, and Anna, now this is the one I had difficulty with. My first game as a victim, I pressed it, it did nothing. Apparently, it reduces the damage she takes from attacks and falls for a little while, and removes poisons. So it looks like we are ready here. We're just waiting for Bubba. I'll just run ready so you can see. We can't actually quite yet change any of the perks, loadouts, or cosmetics or things, but you can see it's toting them there that hey, these things are gonna be in there. Though I'll be honest, they don't look. Ooh, look, different patterns. Ooh, don't really care. I'd be expecting something more interesting. But you know, we've got perk trees here that you go through, and abilities and things. So feel free to pause and give it a read if you wish, because we're not going to have much time here before. And everyone's literally waiting on me. There we go. So that's the overview. We're going to have a few games, and I'm hopefully going to do a couple of episodes on this.
A native of Uvalde was last seen near the town of Newt. The vehicle was recently discovered abandoned, with officials reporting.
So there's a Hitchhiker. That's us. And there goes the survivor that you, well, the victim that you cannot play as during the beta test yet. I've got to say, it's weird coming into these horror games after having recently played Dead Island 2. They say that, you know, if you see like really violent games and if you play a load of violent games and do all that stuff like that, it desensitizes you to it. And it's like, yeah, after playing Dead Island 2, where you can literally like see the rib cages of people. Okay, where exactly are we at? I always have difficulty getting my bearings at first, because I'm always kind of like, where am I? Where's it put me? I think we're in the... yeah, we're above the basement, in the back of the house somewhere, I think. Yeah, so I'd probably... oh, are we upstairs? We might be upstairs here. Hang on. I will say, one of the things with the game is you are going to get turned around a lot in this. I think the only way for me to go is downstairs here. I think I have to go down this bit here. Oh, it was just upstairs in the house. Bloody hell, I thought that was... right, there we go. I thought I were in this room up there. I thought that was this room. I'm not used to spawning on the... I don't think I've spawned on the second floor before yet. Now we're going to collect some blood. Oh, make note of... is that the fuse there? It is the fuse, right, we need to make note of that. So what we're going to want to do, first things first... oh, someone's been executed, and also it looks like the noise has woke up Grandpa. Yeah, there you go. He's woken up, and you can start to see, as we saw there, one of the victims through the walls. Right. We're going to head outside, and we're going to make sure that the generator, there it is, we're going to make sure it's turned on. I will warn you, even though it's a horror game, every single one of the killers, oh crap, I thought I was turning it on. That's turned it off, hasn't it? Crap, I have to guard this. I have to guard this. Hitchhiker will have turned it on, and I'll have not noticed. And now there's a goddamn cooldown. Right. Well, that screwed up my first broadcast game of this. Right, we'll get this sealed up and then we'll head in and we'll... I'm going to have to make sure that no one comes out of the house for a minute now because I've screwed that up. God damn, how long does it stay off? I mean, to be expected, you wouldn't want to kick that as a survivor and then they just come over and instantly turn it back on, so they have thought that through. Yeah, so right now they could literally walk out, which we don't want. Okay, I think that's it. And pull. And go. Go. On. Right, they can't move. Now what we're going to do, now that we've got that sorted, which I apparently didn't need to do, but that would be your first thing that you want to do. So I'm going to now alright, Bubba, you okay, maybe for all the commotion or survivor or something. Has he removed the door? Ah, Bubba, what are you doing here? Right, he is back in, so I'll lock the door behind him now, which was the original plan. Let's add a padlock. There we go. Good, right. We'll go to the back door. We're going to just open this. Got a bit of blood. That's the water pump, it looks like.
Hey, heck is everybody doing?
I'm going to add a padlock to this. That's something as well. I might not have mentioned this. As a survivor, there is a time limit to the game, by the way. The idea here is that you've been captured and subsequently tortured. So you're not in the best of shape. Right, we've got our initial setup complete. So you're not doing too hot. And as a result, you are slowly bleeding out. Now, it's a while before it starts kicking in, but as the game goes by, basically you just slowly have your health tick away until you expire.
Fresh as it gets. Drink up now.
Now, I will admit one thing, I do get very disoriented around the house, and you might do as well. Because, yeah, things move around quite a lot. I think even Grandpa's position is randomly generated, so yeah, it's an issue. I'm going to make sure that we lock this behind us. But yes, so it's very easy to get disoriented. Oh, I think we're here. Oh, that's awesome there. Now the thing is, it's not just us who gets the noise notifications, everyone gets them. So, oh god, how are they getting out? Just escape, just generic, not telling us which door then. Might be an anticlimactic start, this. Right. Let's put our ability to use. Hello.
Better get to it.
There we go. Is that the one that disconnected? Did they like disconnect as we got to him? I mean, I'm counting it. If he's just gonna go, oh, I think he saw me, disconnect, then, you know, I'm still counting it as a kill. You know, it counts, I get the point, screw you. West Road, East Road. Ah, so, yeah, the one just kicked the generator and left. One just, I think, went out, I don't know which. I think West Road is just walking out the front gate. I don't know which one the East Road is. Oh well. But you get the idea of how an average game's gonna go. You know, you're gonna start up, it gives you a nice little overview of how the killer works. That. I'll drop a pause here till the next game starts, and I'll see you then.